team and some senior members to an offsite 3-day workshop in Greensboro. Because the biggest thing that I worry all the time, having sleepless nights, is not science, not quality, not delivery. It's the alignment of teams and the culture. I came from big pharma, and then I know how companies struggle to put these alignments together. When I was at Aventis, it was just formed out of Ron Poulenc Rohrer and Hext Murian Russell. So the two German companies together coming, but we were in US. So it's the three cultures and how the assimilation. And then 2 years later, fast forward, we now merged with Sanofi, a French company. And Sanofi itself came from multiple other combinations of companies. And the way we used to think, what do these people know in France? We are in US, and there was some inequality. The decisions were being made by the headquarters in Strasbourg, but we think we know. Everyone thinks they know better, right? So it was a constant struggle. I had both teams, one in Frankfurt and one in Berwyn, Pennsylvania. So I grew up in that kind of alignment/culture is extremely important. Secondly, to me, as a legacy, when you start a company, when you're providing employment to 100 people, and now soon to be 130, and by the time we look back 5 years from now, it may be more close to 300 people. So in my own legacy, I want to make sure I'm building a company that takes care of people, fair treatment, so that just because a new person came in with good experience, suddenly the old person is not fair. I look up to some of these people, like local celebrities, Mr. Goodnight at SAS, and people who build companies along with good culture. People rave about him, how well he treats people. That goes a long way, human capital. If you try to make sure when you're adding this many people all at one time, suddenly it's like throwing a color into a milk pot. Before it becomes homogenized again and become white, you do have these spots of color floating around, not mixing closely. That's my number one goal, to make sure everyone works together, aligns together. I don't want kumbaya. I don't want people hugging with each other all the time, but at least, have the same cause, same alignment. There are days you will earn brownie points and be nice, and there are days you throw a tantrum and you could be, so the people should think that, okay, this guy is not bad. Today something's happening, and that's when I think people will gel together. A small misunderstanding, small inequality between roles or understanding can ruin our business. We're not in nuts and bolts factory. You talk about 6 Sigma, 8 Sigma, doesn't matter. Those are acceptable in a nuts and bolts factory. 1 in a million nuts can go bad, and you're okay. You throw it out and go back to Home Depot, buy one more. 1 in a million people having an allergic reaction or even a fatality because I didn't make a product right is not acceptable. So when you have such a bigger responsibility, we already have scientific challenges. We already have supply chain difficulties. In the middle of it, I don't want to throw another wrench into the equation of these team understandings. Suddenly we're growing so fast and we haven't truly understood what it takes to do this. And new vice presidents and leaders came, and then suddenly old people feeling that, we're being left out. And that's the kind of broad thesis. I don't know if I can put it in any words. I was just struggling to put my intent to express to you yesterday, but if I translated my views now, great. If not, I can continue to explain more on what I wrote.
No, that makes sense and, covers kind of what I assumed you were talking about, but I just wanted to clarify and see if you had any extra, thoughts or notes to add. So thank you.
Vijendra, as you